Welcome to part 2 of the consequences of the end of the handshake. Yeah. Or shall we say at this juncture, the possible end of the handshake. Yeah, it hasn't happened yet, but everything is screaming at us that its days are numbered. Now, Miguna represents the vast majority of Kenyans who want change. The interesting thing here is that even those who do not support Miguna directly for various reasons, i.e. his personality or whatever, support change. After the handshake, Miguna was the only big major figure standing for that change. Now, it would make a lot of sense for any politician who wants to get ahead to identify themselves with the change camp. Anybody who can do that successfully will get massive support instantly. Now, in case you have not noticed it, the DP Ruto camp has been trying to do exactly that. Identify itself with the change camp. How have they been doing this? Through Governor Mike Sonko. Mike Sonko has got a huge following on the ground, people who it is very difficult to change their minds and tell them that Sonko is not the right person. These are people who have received emergency assistance from Mike Sonko in the past. These are people whose lives have been changed by Mike Sonko. Mike Sonko's support base cannot be ignored. And so, what Sonko has been trying to do is position himself as the change agent. Yeah, the person ready to take on the cartels. And according to him, the only person who can help him take on those cartels is Miguna. Now, the way this is supposed to work is that as Sonko becomes established in the minds of Kenyans as a person fighting for change, it will be very easy for him at a very late hour to link himself to DP William Ruto as the only person who can lead that group for change. That is the whole game plan. Now back to the present. Assuming the handshake ends, it will make a lot of sense for the DP William Ruto team to continue making the effort to position themselves as the agents for change. They will try very hard to convince Kenyans that it is possible to achieve change without changing the constitution, that all will be required will be a change at State House. Now I can hear you saying that's impossible. William Ruto is too damaged to change anything. My friend, this is politics. Let me give you one scenario. Very unlikely, but then we have seen very unlikely scenarios in recent times. What if there was a ticket of DP William Ruto standing for the presidency and his running mate Miguna? Now, of course, that is a theory. Some of you may say far-fetched, but then this is politics. In politics, there's no such word as far-fetched. In politics, what rules is something called political convenience. And there's something else. You do not expect DP William Ruto to show his hand. I'll be very surprised if he does. This game will continue to be played chini ya maji, the way Kenyans talk. That means in the background, foot soldiers, mostly the foot soldiers we do not know, will be very busy. The whole idea here is to grow the DP Ruto support base as rapidly and as quickly as possible. If you think very deeply and very politically, this is the only way DP William Ruto can save his 2022 bid. It is the only way. He cannot afford to trust anybody. He cannot afford to trust deals, backroom deals. All he needs is to grow his support base. If he manages to do that, everything else is irrelevant. People can continue hating him. People can continue saying DP Ruto will never become president. They can continue saying that. But as long as he can get the numbers, then it's okay, whatever anybody says. And as I've just demonstrated, getting the numbers is all about strategy. Using your brains, not using guns and state security, using your brains. Now, if this is far-fetched to you, let me remind you that if I told you 2 weeks ago that Mike Sonko will name Miguna as his running mate, or rather as his deputy governor, what would you have told me? I'm sure you'd have told me something like, Kumekucha, you'd better go and get your head examined. You've lost it. But that is the reality now. That is the reality today. So please do me a favor. Remove that word far-fetched from your vocabulary. and replace it with a word called political possibilities or political conveniences. Never forget that this is a very high stakes political chess game. And don't forget that William Ruto has managed, before in 2013, to pull a rabbit out of the hat, to the utter shock, surprise of many. Indeed, there are very many people in the Republic of Kenya who have never recovered to this date. They have never recovered from what happened in 2013. And probably they will never recover. Well, it is the same man we are talking about now. It is the same man who's faced with what is faced right now. His brain has not stopped working. So you had better be prepared. You had better get prepared for a lot of action. Yeah? Na popcorn itembe. Oh yes, plenty of popcorn moments coming up. That I guarantee you. Until next time, this is Kshs Kumekucha.